Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Manon and today we're gonna look at like common book tropes. A book trope is kind of like a theme within a story. Think about forbidden love, like Romeo and Juliet, or like the chosen one, or something like so. Kind of a common theme to find in several books, just comes back in different shapes and sizes. So what I'm gonna do today is I've come up with the idea to kind of play like would you rather. So I've put a bunch, I just collected a random few, put them in a random generator, and it makes me have to choose two of them. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so I have the first two up, and it is you didn't realize who I was, so now I'm in love with you, and protagonist doesn't think she's beautiful. This one, like, I don't particularly like either of them, because I think the one is like you didn't realize who I was, so now I'm in love with you is usually among romance novels, and where like a famous person falls head over heels for this person who does not know who they are. And I don't want to be rude, but like I think that happens a lot more than just like one random person in the street. And so yeah, I don't know. And it's like I love being completely ignored. I mean, I can understand that it's like nice to not be like hounded, but I can imagine like as an artist, like there are different ways to go at it. Like you say like, hey, I'm not gonna hound you, or like I'm not like, but like I do appreciate your art and I think it's great, which is like a vastly different game. Just like I don't know who you are and I don't care, which is frankly also kind of rude. And the whole idea of like the protagonist doesn't think she's beautiful when everyone tells her differently. And you know, I think it's such a really good example of this is like the one in the Selection series when the main character, she just gets chosen as like a possible bride for the future king, for the prince at that point, and where, you know, and they're like the most brightest, beautiful people ever, and she doesn't get it. I was like, ugh. I think it's just kind of boring, and I think in a sense like it's okay, like I can understand for teenagers like that they don't always feel comfortable in their skin, but I think there's a difference in just like being super self-assured and being like really loving who you are and just saying like I don't see it. Like I think it's like, yeah, I think there's this thing where it's like, you know what, there are probably things that she likes or doesn't like about you, and I think that's a more realistic approach. You're just like, okay, and it's me also the most beautiful being in the world, but I don't think I'm ugly either. Like, and I think that kind of middle ground kind of loses its way. So when I have to choose, I mean, I'll probably go for You Didn't Know Who I Was, so now I'm in love with you. The one bad or forbidden love trope, I'm gonna go with the one bad. I think the one bad trope is kind of like an overarching theme that a lot of people like. And the forbidden love, it just has never stolen my heart, ever. I just never really liked Romeo and Juliet. I'm gonna say it. I know it's like this big romance story, but to me it's just like, they could have talked to each other. And I find it like I can understand that you're like super in love with someone, but then to see kind of rush into your own death over it seems a bit much all the time. Like I could just never get into that part. More often than not, I'm not really into them. And the one bad trope just kind of does it to me. I love it. It's like the idea is that, like, for example, there are two characters who don't really like each other, or they're kind of into each other, who knows, and for like they're like down on their luck or whatever, and they have to like check into a hotel, and there's only one room left with one bed, and they always like, and she's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. New one is Dead Parents or I hate everyone but you. Oh, here's the thing. I understand the necessity of, for a lot of the main character like protagonists, to not have parents or a lot of relatives living. Like I can understand the necessity of it because like you have to go on this big quest or it's very dangerous, and to have still family or relatives at home, like they either stop them or, you know, a lot will happen to their family. So I can see why they do it. I think it's not always necessary. I think that there are more creative ways, or other ways to handle that type of choice. But I also just don't think it's always necessary to just consistently have main characters who have no living family members. So yeah, and then I hate everyone but you. I think this is a trope that like it's more about like the aftermath. Like if someone admits like, oh, I hate everyone but you, and it's like, if that's like a starting point for them to open up more and like other people, then maybe, or yes. But if it's like, I still hate everyone and hate the whole world but you, I just feel like maybe go see a therapist. I don't like, I think in this one, I'm just gonna go for the dead parents, just purely out of, just as I said, like I can see why it's written in a storyline more often than the I hate everyone but you trope. So I'm gonna go with the fake dead parent one, which is weird to say. Dating or evil twin. I mean, I hate the evil twin trope. It's so overdone. Like, I have a twin and they're the worst. Like, they tried to kill me or to take over my life, or we're on opposite ends of the world. Like, I think the only way that for me it could be interesting is if they do, like, if they're on opposite side of like the conflict, and I don't both believe they're on the right side, but they also still have very much a lot. There's no hate necessarily between them, you know. Like I think that could be very interesting, but other than that, I just don't care about the evil twin trope. And the fake dating one, I love that one. I'm really interested in, I do really enjoy the fake dating trope. I think more so due to the humor that ensues within that trope. I do have to admit that I like the fake dating ones, not the ones that where they're like mildly already into each other or whatever, just the one that's like, who are like not strange but like they're good friends. And especially ones where they don't always end up dating. I think that's also like where that's like also a very valuable option. Viable option? I think that's the word. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the fake dating one. Love triangle or ancient being falls in love with the younger protagonist. I don't like either of them. Here's my issue. And I'm gonna start with the love triangle because I have issues with both of them. The love triangle is never a fucking triangle. It never is. It's never a damn triangle because it's two people who are crushing on the same person, and I feel anyone basic geometry knows that there are three sides. So it's more like person A falls for person B, and person B falls for C, and for C falls for A. Then we have a triangle, but that's not like what it is. It's just two people. Like it's an arrowhead. Like no. But anyways, I'm kind of over it, and I think a lot of people are. I'm not like super opposed. I do remember loving this when I was a teen, and I thought it was very interesting. Also, could not relate with it for the rest of my life. But yeah, so like in that sense, I think it's one of those tropes that works really well in books aimed at like younger teenagers. I think by the time that I was late teens, I was kind of like done with the trope. So it could work. No ancient being falls in love with younger protagonist. No. I have to admit, I was into it when I was younger, and now I'm 26, 5, 6. Here's the thing. When I was a teen, I was like, wow, that's so cool. And didn't necessarily see that much wrong with it. And now I'm like 26. I'm like, I can't even fathom being into like a 19-year-old. Like, no. That's so young. And just like a lot of these younger protagonists are late teens, like 16 to 20 or something, and they have like an ancient being who's like 500 plus years old, and it's like there is no way But that intervening is like, yes, I'm on the same level as the teenager. No, no. And it's just plain weird. Like, here's the thing. If I as a 26-year-old already like, no, not at all, it's your child, I'm just not here for it. It's one of those things, like, the older you get, the weirder it becomes. So we're going with the love triangle. I don't like the love triangle, but we're going for it in this case anyway. All right, next one. Figuring out that they have powers or enemies to lovers. Enemies to lovers. Yeah, exactly. Fate dating. I know it's like a big thing, but I do love it. There has to be a certain way of enemies though. Like, there are a lot of different enemies. And I think the ones like, I just don't like you, or you're just annoy me, but not the enemies in like, I'm sorry I killed your parents type of enemies. More on that, I just don't vibe with you, you annoy me. And there's always kind of like this tension, like, you kind of do like him, but it's kind of like that type of enemies. Like, they just annoy each other consistently, but they don't outright hate each other or like have done terrible things to each other. You know, like, I can't understand how when it's like that he bullied me severely, but now we're in love. Or, yeah, this person did horrible things to me and my family, but now I'm in love. And not those enemies to lovers. No. And figuring out that they have powers, not opposed to it. Not opposed to the trope. I do have to admit, it's one of those tropes that works really well. Young adult, like, aimed at teenagers, because that's the first time you probably come across the tropes. I think if you come across it in books later on, it's like that trope you've read before, heard of before so many times, so it slightly gets overdone. I think this is a trope that works really well for like the first few stories that you read this, and then it just kind of simmers down and it's not something you're super interested in anymore. So obviously, enemies to lovers it is. The last one, which is the chosen one, not like other girls or boys. I mean, obviously the chosen one is kind of similar to figuring out that they have powers often, but obviously the chosen one doesn't have to have powers. Think of like Frodo in Lord of the Rings. He has no powers. He's very, very clever, but he's like the chosen one in the sense that he takes it upon himself to bring the ring to Mordor. They're not like other girls, boys. You know, like how one part of Flesh is like, you're not like other girls. It's like, yeah, they probably are. Like, I think we all somewhat resemble people and other people, and the whole not like other girls, boys. Here's the thing. I don't know, like, if someone would say it to me now, like, I can see that it makes you feel special when you hear it, you know, because you want to be different. If that person is like, you're not like other boys because, I don't know, you're a mythical being, I'm like, okay, I can get into why you're saying this. But generally, it's like the most basic things are different. So, obviously, I'm gonna go with the chosen one. I think it's how it's handled, the chosen one. That's like a trope that could work really well, or could be so similar to everything we've seen before. And that's why I don't like it. So yeah, the chosen one trope out of this one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is combine the ones that I have chosen this time. I'm gonna see if I can make the ultimate trope. The chances that it's gonna be like either enemies to lovers or one bad trope is extremely high. We're gonna see what happens because I'm curious. So we're back for round 2. The chosen one or the love triangle. No. Okay, this is easy. Like, I think there are 2 tropes that I'm kind of done with, but I feel like the chosen one is the one that I'm less tired of, and I think it could still be developed into like very interesting stories. And the love triangle, I'm just done with it. Like, it's fine. It's just not like, here's the thing, the love triangle is also like in where it's like the world is going to shit, and now I'm curious about whose abs I like more. Dead parents or fake dating? I mean, fake dating. Like I said, I think fake dating is just fun, and I like the humor that comes with it. There are also tropes like, here's dead parents, I understand it's a necessity. Fake dating, it could be done really well, it could be done really bad. But I'd rather bet on that one because if it's done well, it's just a trope that I love, and I think it's so much fun. The one bad enemies to lovers, no, why does this keep happening? Like, when I have the bad ones and then like the really good ones in one go. One bad or enemies to lovers? Okay. I don't know. One bad enemies to lovers. You know what, I'm gonna go for the one bad. As much as I think enemies to lovers is nice, I'm very specific about how I like enemies to lovers, and one bad, there's a broader range of things that are fun. They're both humorous. So I'm gonna go with the one bad. It also means that you didn't ask who it was, so now I am in love with you. It's automatically onto the next round. Okay, so now I have like 3 book tropes left. Which is the fake dating, you didn't realize who it was, so now I'm in love with you, and the one bed. The you didn't realize who it was, so now I'm in love with you, I'm just gonna nix that one. I didn't necessarily like it in the first round because it was just the better of 2 evils for me. So it's like fake dating or one bed. I'm gonna go with it because again, I think the same thing would have had just with enemies to lovers. The fake dating is very specific. I'm very specific within that book trope of what I like. With the one bed, I have a broader range of things that I enjoy seeing in a trope. So yeah, I mean, on the other end, where so one bed, it's 1-1, and let's be realistic. I don't think anyone was surprised that that was the 1-1. I think that's such a broadly carried book trope that so many people love. The one bed is first one fake dating, second, third by slight default. I do have to admit that it's slight default, but it's how it goes. You didn't realize who it was, so now I'm in love with you. Fourth is the enemies to lovers, and fifth, dead parents. So yeah, there we have the top 5 book tropes out of this would you rather question. Yeah, I mean, this was a lot of me rambling about book tropes. I hope you kind of enjoyed this. If you do enjoy it, like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It honestly does help me out. And yeah, and I'll see you guys again next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.